All right. Sitting in the snow. I don't know when the last time it was that you were sitting in the snow. I can't remember when last time I was sitting in the snow, but here I am. For those who can see, I just shoveled snow. It's a lot, and I'm tired. Pretty much halfway there, though. I mean, I cleaned 2 cars, and halfway down the driveway. So there's an end in sight, but that's not what I want to talk about. I just wanted to say I sit in the snow. It's a beautiful feeling. If you have the right equipment, think about it. There's no bad weather, only bad clothing. So if you have the right clothing, you can sit in the snow. No big deal, which is what I'm doing right now. As I was snow shoveling, my mind is always active. And I was thinking about something. I recorded another episode, which I will hopefully release before this one. But I was texting a friend and said, hey, I just recorded another episode. What do you think I should call it? And I threw out some titles. And she responded, Snowbird. And I'm like, Snowbird? Can you elaborate? Or can you, what context? And of course, it's hard to label an episode that I recorded that somebody else has no clue about what did you talk about to give a title. But then she said, Snowbird, in reference to people live here, let's say, northeast. And then during the winter, they go away. They go to Florida, other places, but mainly Florida. Let's say Florida. And live there part of the time or full time. Or some are in their, that's another thing. Some people are in their 70s and taking care of their elderly parents, which are in their 90s. Therefore, Snowbird. Also, I just had a pack of geese flying over me. Maybe there's another one coming while I record this, which is a beautiful, other than the snow plow that you hear in the background and the wind somehow. But snowbirds. So they take care of the elderly. And so here's my thought about this, which is basically a beautiful thing if people have, those who still have parents, to take care of them. And, in our society, and sometimes it depends obviously on the needs. I mean, my mom had a condition that was hard for our family to take care of her, but partially we're able to do that. And she needed some extra help. But then some people, I hear stories where they live a certain age and they're capable. They want to stay at home, do their own thing, as long as you're active doing it, have the right relationship, have faith. Different components, help you to live a life as you get older and be content and be actually healthy, like obviously also what you eat and your circle of family and friends, and different components. That's for another episode. But the thing is, the concept of offering help, because, sometimes our society, I believe, they have managed to, we want a certain lifestyle. This is, like a certain way about life, what we do. We go to school, we go to college, get a job, get a house, get a car, maybe the other way around, get married, maybe other process before that, have kids. And the circle repeats itself, or cycle, so that is. And you grow, you want to retire, and there you go. But the thing is, in our society, because we're so prone at times to take care of what our needs are, what we want, and our desires, and go after that we forget to serve, to help, to, there's more to life than just what is in it for me. It's actually, I think, more about what I can contribute to make this world a better place. What can I leave behind to make this world a better place? Whether that is in my accomplishments or my serving, the way I live, the way I conduct my life, the way I help, the way I engage, the way I look at life in general. There's more to that. But because of that, or our self-absorbance, we also, things are inconvenient for us. So like also with sometimes elderly folks, people, if you ever get a chance, there's a song by 21 Pilots, talk to your grandparents. They should, I don't know how the text goes, but it's like Neon Gravestones. It's a great song. And at the end, it's like, just talk to your grandparents, somebody of age, because they have paved the way. They have lived a life, and they have so much to give, so much to tell us that we can learn from, and wisdom to absorb, that we don't prone to do the same mistakes as they did. Hopefully we can help from that, learn from their wisdom, and also spend time with them. I think it's an important fact. And why do I say this? Because we have a tendency, we just things that are inconvenient, we just want to solve it. And I'm not saying it's all wrong. I don't know how to solve it personally, other than being available, being helpful. Make the accommodations, be accommodating to the needs, like what we did with my dad, with my mom. And I'm not saying because we did this that everybody can do that and has to do it the same way. But what I'm saying is that we should be more sensitive and engage in conversation with older people. Listen to the story. I had this experience with somebody that I met on a cruise ship, a couple, and just hearing him telling the story that he actually on that ship that's where he served in World War II, and listening to him opening up, talking about this. It's a moment that you cannot even record it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be there. You have to experience it. It's so special. What that was for him, and reliving that moment to some degree, and having other people around that you share it with. It's great that there's people who actively take care of their parents, older parents, and I had conversations with some too. Also, my friend did, and it just reminded me, as she was reminding me of that. That I have a couple of friends that I just recently talked to. It is a restriction. It's a sacrifice. It takes a lot. In so many aspects from our life, that it cuts away from our life. And I realize how much, especially for my one sister, it cut away a lot of her life. How she was engaged and constantly present and helpful, and speak up for my mom, make sure she has everything. It's taxing, but it's so worth it because our parents has given us the life, in a home, let us grow up, taking care of us. Why shouldn't we be able in return to take care of themselves if we can do that? And it reminds me when I was in Switzerland just recently, we were in an Airbnb. It's like on the lower Alp in the Bernese Alps, lower part of the Alps. And, the farmers there, they have their main farm. It's sometimes, it's probably quite big. They work a lot, man. They work 12, 14 hours a day. It's hard work. And they have another little house, which they call the Stöckli, which is like reserved for when the parents get of age. They hand over the farm to normally the oldest son. And then they move into the Stöckli, which is like the small house. And they're still involved in the daily life of the farm, take care of different things, like also experience they have, they're involved. But the farm is officially handed over, or the family business, so to speak. But they're still there, and they help with all the stuff that needs help with, and keep working, have their own space. So there's a certain separation in a healthy way. Just like I can't find the word right now, but you know what I'm saying. It's just to have like space, safe space, take care of the grandchildren and be involved in their lives, and the rest of the kids there, or the farmer, takes care of them as they grow old, and then till they pass. What a beautiful way to go. And then the same thing will happen to them as the next generation repeats itself. So it's a beautiful experience. And I also had these friends that I talked about before, a couple of friends that I mentioned. They told me, like, my dad was a good dad. That's why I take care of him. He deserves this. Even if it cuts out of my daily life and my finances and my time and things I want to do. But I want to do that for my dad. It was a good dad. And even if it wasn't a good dad, that's another story. But it's, I don't know, Snowbirds, sitting in the snow, contemplating about our elderly people and how we can help out. Like, it's little things. I see that even in the grocery store, of just carrying their belongings to the car. It's an honorable thing to do, and it doesn't take much. Serving doesn't take much. It's actually very fulfilling because we give rather than take. And then see what that does to people on the receiving end is just a beautiful thing. And sometimes we are on the receiving end and it's done to us. And that's a beautiful thing too, because, what you give. Eventually, what you sow, you will reap what you sow. Let's end with that. You reap what you sow, and maybe we should reevaluate how we look at our elderly folks and generation, and how we can learn from them, engage with them, help them, and learn. Maybe I said that already. Anyway, going back to shoveling snow, and thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Godspeed.